Good evening, and welcome to the 2025 Annual Member Meeting of Horry Electric Cooperative. My name is Jennifer Cummings, and I work for Horry Electric. My job this evening is to guide you through the virtual business session following a day and a half of drive-through registration and voting here at the Conway office. I'd like to officially call tonight's meeting to order. I now invite Pat Johnson, an employee for Horry Electric, to deliver tonight's invocation. I invite you to stay with us as we follow with the Pledge of Allegiance and the National Anthem.
Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you for this day. Lord, we thank you for your many blessings. We thank you for our families, our friends, this wonderful company you've allowed us to be a part of. But Lord, most of all, we thank you for your precious Son, Jesus. Now, Lord, as we enter into this business meeting, we ask for your guidance and your wisdom, as well as your blessing for the leadership team, the board, employees, and the members. Please help us to always strive to work together for the betterment of our community. In Jesus' precious name, amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We want to assure you that all official notifications for this year's annual member meeting were handled properly and in accordance with our bylaws. In your March edition of South Carolina Living magazine, you'll have seen the official notice for today's meeting inside. Inside that same edition, you'll find key financial information about your cooperative and details on this year's trustee elections. All the information you need is inside that magazine, so if you haven't already, I encourage you to take a look at the March edition of South Carolina Living. Horry Electric serves 82,308 members. In order to officially hold this annual member meeting and conduct our business session, we're required to meet a quorum of 5% of the membership. I'm happy to report we met that requirement. Our quorum number was 4,115, and we had 9,977 registrations. Of those, 7,354 members registered and voted. We sincerely thank each and every one of you for taking the time to participate and make your voice heard. Also on today's agenda, we have the unapproved minutes from last year's annual member meeting. You can view those online on the My Energy online portal. With no objections, Those minutes will be accepted and entered into the record as approved. Now, I'd like to turn it over to Mr. Johnny Shelley, President of the Board of Trustees, to give his report.
Good evening and welcome to the 84th Annual Member Meeting of Horry Electric Cooperative. 2024 was a year of growth and progress as Horry Electric continues to expand at an incredible pace. Horry Electric remains one of the fastest growing electric cooperatives in the state. We began the year with more than 94,537 active meters and 5,948 miles of line. By year's end, we surpassed 99,000 active meters and 6,120 miles of line, a testament to the growth of our community and our commitment to serving it. At Horry Electric, our mission is simple: to provide safe, affordable, and reliable electricity to you, our members. Every day, our Board of Trustees, leadership team, and employees work tirelessly to power your homes, businesses, and lives with excellence and care. It's truly an honor to serve our Board of Trustees and be a part of what makes the cooperative difference so special. Thank you for being here tonight, and thank you for your trust in the Horry Electric Cooperative.
Thank you, Mr. Shelley. Now I'd like to introduce you to Reed Cooper, Horry Electric's Executive Vice President and CEO, to deliver his CEO report.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us tonight. Before we reflect on some of the things that happened in 2024 and some of the exciting things that we have coming for you in 2025, I would like to take a moment to introduce myself. As Jennifer said earlier, my name is Reed Cooper, and I am the new Executive Vice President and CEO here at Horry Electric. I assumed this role after Mr. Danny Shelley retired back in January, and he had dedicated 33 years of service to Horry Electric Cooperative on behalf of you, our members, and I would really like to take this time to thank him for such a job well done. Now, a little bit about me. How did I end up here? Well, I was born and raised here in Horry County. I grew up here. I went to elementary school here, and some would say that maybe as far back as then, I may have known what I wanted to do. I'm not so sure about that, but that story comes from my 4th grade science project. Into 4th grade, I built an electric city. I took a 6-volt battery, took a piece of plywood, painted streets on it, built a few little houses, took some wires, made some poles, and lit the city. Now, I managed to graduate or get out of elementary school, went on to middle school, found myself at Conway High School, and I'm a senior thinking, what's the next thing I'm gonna do? Well, electrical engineering popped in my head. I was talking to my math teacher at the time about it. Her name was Miss Ann Taylor, and she said, I'll never forget what she told me. She said, Reed, all I can tell you is if you go into electrical engineering, you'll have to change your ways or you'll never make it. And she was 100% right. I had to learn how to study, but I did. And I was able to graduate from the University of South Carolina with a degree in electrical engineering. That is where my road to Horry Electric began. Although I had lived on Horry Electric Co-op my entire life, I didn't understand what a co-op was. And I was fortunate enough to get my first job after graduation was with an electric utility. And it just happened to be with an electric co-op. Well, I fell in love with the business model. I fell into love with the fact that we were working on behalf of our member owners. We were not working for a profit, but we were working to make sure that our members had the safest, most affordable, and reliable energy that was possible. So, fell in love with the business model, and after a few years, I was able to make it back to my hometown of Conway and here working at Horry Electric. So when I'm not working here at Horry Electric, what do I like to do? Well, you may find me on a Saturday morning with one of my 2 kids out chasing a little white ball on one of the local golf courses. My wife still tells us, she says, I have no idea why y'all play that sport. I do not understand how y'all find that relaxing. If we're not on the golf course, we may be at one of the local beaches. We may be on one of the local waterways. I may be down at Winyah with the family fishing for spot tail. Occasionally, I'm able to go up in the mountains of North Carolina and do a little bit of fly fishing. But really, what we like to do is anything outside as a family. Like you, I love Horry County. We have a wonderful place. Like many of my neighbors, we live, work, play, and worship here in Horry County, and we're thankful to be able to do so. Now that's way more about me than you probably even wanted to know, and it's way more than I wanted to be talking about. So let's move into some much more interesting things. Let's talk about what's going on here at Horry Electric Cooperative. And the first item I'd like to talk to you about tonight is grid resiliency. Now, one of the common things you're going to find throughout this talk is growth. You all know it. Our county is rapidly growing. It's rapidly changing. With that growth, communities depend more and more on services. Now, what I mean by services, when I'm talking about services in this context, I'm talking about your gas stations, your banks, your grocery stores, your schools, your shelters that we may have to utilize during a hurricane. All of those services are dependent on electricity. And we know lights will go out. They do not always stay on. That's our goal, but it doesn't always happen. Occasionally a little squirrel gets in the way, a car wreck, a hurricane, an afternoon thunderstorm, and those lights go off. Now, we have been knowing about a technology for years and would have investigated putting it on the system, but it was not affordable. And we always want to spend our members' money wisely. We just could not afford to do it. It didn't make good economic sense. So we found out that the Department of Energy, through the Office of Grid Deployment, was able to start offering some grants. These grants, if we could secure one, would allow us to do this project. We were fortunate enough to be able to secure the grant. So we were able to obtain the funding to make this project affordable on your behalf. Now, as a recovering engineer, I could sit here and get into the weeds and explain this to you and love doing it, but it would be extremely boring. So fortunately, the Office of Grid Deployment had helped us develop a video, and that video does a much better job of explaining it than I could ever do. So at this time, I would like to share that video with you.
Welcome to Horry County, where the city of Conway beats at its heart.
Conway folk share and give and accept smiles and hugs all day long. It is our energy source. I give a lot of them myself.
But all those smiles and hugs are just one of the reasons why Conway's population has exploded over the past decade.
It is a direct path to Myrtle Beach and North Myrtle Beach. We've been among the fastest growing counties and municipalities in the United States. Coastal Carolina has put Conway on the map, no doubt.
So the growth is a good thing, obviously, but it definitely puts a strain on the grid.
Kevin would know. He works for Horry Electric.
Horry Electric's role to Horry County is providing safe and reliable power to our members. We deal with a lot of things, anywhere from squirrel outages to thunderstorms to cars hitting poles.
Loss of power changes everything. It stops us in our tracks. When the electricity is out, our stores have no opportunity to do anything but close.
Such as restaurants, like Russell's.
So now, you want me to just sit here and talk?
Yes, please.
You're gonna have to talk loud for me because I can't hardly hear.
Anyway, Russell owns Big D's Barbecue Trough in Conway, which is certainly impacted by a loss of power.
Somebody hits a pole, I lose power, and also in storms, I lose power. So I need power to operate everything. It's a trickle-down thing. It's not good.
So we're looking at adding automated switches to the grid for power restoration in situations like this so that power can be restored in minutes instead of hours.
Here's how that would work. When something like a car hitting a pole knocks out power in one section, the switches on the grid react by switching the power flow direction to restore power to the affected areas. This means instead of having to send out crews to do this manually, the power to most of that section is restored automatically.
Automation projects are very cool. Unfortunately, cool projects are usually very expensive. The grant through Department of Energy and GDO has been very helpful in allowing us to create a project that we ordinarily would not have been able to do.
The GDO. I've forgotten what the acronym stands for.
And that's why we created this video. GDO refers to the Department of Energy's Grid Deployment Office. They're investing billions of dollars in projects around the country to improve and create a more resilient grid.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's exciting.
The switches will do more than support the community through more than just outages caused by downed trees, car accidents, or those pesky squirrels.
I like to say we're one hurricane away from just total destruction.
This is Randy, and he would know. The people of Conway call him the Hurricane Guy.
Yeah, that's it. I wear that badge proudly. We've been hit by major Category 4 storms before. We will get hit again.
And all that hard work earned him an even bigger honor.
So improving the grid, electrical grid here in Horry County is a game changer. We need a robust system that will either withstand the storms or come back up quickly after the storms. Our schools are also part of our critical facilities, and we need to get those up and running.
Our school community does serve as hurricane shelters.
That is a very critical need in the time of power outages. During widespread outages like hurricanes, a lot of people are displaced from their homes. That gives them a place to go and feel safe and protected.
And so we want to make sure that they have a safe, warm place to go and have a wonderful meal to eat while they ride out the particular storm.
But at the same time, we are always looking for opportunities like this to provide next level service. This grant project allowed us to put a project in place that will be a huge help for reliability to the community.
So all in all, GDO is helping cities like Conway stay resilient.
People in Conway during disaster have shown the strength that we share because we look out for each other. And the GDO would just make us stronger.
And that's the whole point. And that's it. Thanks, everyone.
Well, give me a hug, then.
For more information on GDO's grid resilience projects, check out energy.gov/GDO.
Man, that was a great video, and I would like to thank GDO and all of our community partners in helping us put that together so that we could better explain this to you, our members. We're excited about this project, and we'll be sure to keep you up to date as it moves forward over the coming year. Moving on, one of the common things we've talked about tonight so far is growth in our area. And Horry Electric makes sure that we stay on top of the growth and know what's coming to our area. At this time, we are aware of 195 projects that are actively being built in Horry County in our service territory. Those 195 projects, inside those projects are roughly 12,000 meters that we will have to provide power to over the next couple of years. I want you to know that our grid is capable of handling that. We're always planning, we're always constructing, and we can take care of it. Now, Horry Electric was established in 1940, and up until last year, the busiest year we had ever had was in 2006. And in 2006, we had added 4,358 meters to our system. That's a phenomenal amount of growth, and our members did not experience any problems. Last year was our busiest year ever. We added 4,477 meters to our system. And so far this year, our numbers are right in line with last year. Things are not slowing down. But rest assured, your team here at Horry Electric is ahead of it. Now, we know that it takes more than just underground wires and overhead poles for an electric system to operate. You might remember my story about my 4th grade science project. My little 6-volt battery was my substation. We had updated you last year that we had Red Hill substation under construction. Well, I'm happy to be able to tell you tonight that that substation is complete and providing power to the area. It has been able to help back up the Nixonville substation and back up the Quail Creek substation. In addition to Red Hill, we have recently started construction on the Adrian substation. The Adrian substation will be completed sometime this year. It serves the Adrian community, the Maple community, and the Long Avenue area of Conway. And it will back up the Shell substation. In addition to the Adrian substation, we have just recently received final permits on a station we're referring to as Buck Creek. It's up in the northern part of our system where we're experiencing a lot of growth, and we'll begin construction on that substation shortly. In addition to these three, we have 3 more substations that are in the planning process. Now, it takes anywhere from 3 to 5 years to bring a substation from planning to fully constructed. UCLA is going to be built in between Conway and Aner. Warden Station will be built on 701 South, and Island Green will be built just behind the existing Island Green substation. All of those areas are experiencing tremendous amounts of growth, and we know that in the next 5 to 7 to 8 years, we're going to need substations in that area, and we're going to have them built ahead of time. Now, we know that it takes more than just substations, overhead poles and wires, and underground wires. It takes generation. As you know, Horry Electric does not generate its own power. We buy that power from Central Electric Cooperative. Now, Horry Electric is a part owner of Central Electric Cooperative, and they buy power on behalf of all of the co-ops in South Carolina. There is a generation shortage. You may have seen it on the national news, you may have seen it on the local news, but I'm sure that at some point in time you've heard about the need for generation in America. It's short everywhere. I want to make sure that you understand that your board and Horry Electric have been advocating on your behalf. The local delegation, the South Carolina delegation, the federal delegation are well aware of this issue, and they are feverishly working to fix it. They have been debating a bill in Columbia over the last couple of weeks, and we're very confident that we will have some answers shortly, and we will be able to start addressing the generation problem not only here in South Carolina, but nationally. Now I'd like to take the time to talk to you about something that is near and dear to my heart, and that is a program known as Operation Roundup. We have spent a lot of time talking about how Horry Electric takes care of our members. This is a program that allows our members to take care of each other. It was started in 1993, and since that time, we have collected just under $2.5 million. Now, this money is donated by you, our members, again, through a program called Operation Roundup. And the way that program works is it allows you, if you choose to round your bill up to the nearest dollar. That number is then taken and distributed to members in their times of need. That program is administered by Horry Electric Trust, and I would like to give you the 2024 Trust Report. On January 1, we had $172,299 in that account. Throughout the year, we received $84,172 in deposits. We had total expenditures of $101,475, which left a remaining balance of $154,996. We really appreciate all that our members do to support their fellow members. I promise you this is money well spent, and thank you for taking care of each other. So, moving on. Last year at the annual meeting, we announced that we would be moving to a new rate structure. That restructured rate took effect. You saw it on your October bill. It was for your September use, but it was shown on your October bill. Now, you may be wondering, I know some of you are definitely wondering, why did we go to a restructured rate? Why not just leave it the way it was? Well, we had been studying for a long time here at Horry Electric what was the best way to bill our members for their electric usage. We had talked to a lot of co-ops from around the country. We had brought in a rate consultant. We have been analyzing our own data, and we've been studying this for years. And we determined through a lot of deliberation that the best way to bill our members was with this restructured rate. Now, you may be asking, well, why is it the best? Well, it's the best because it is absolutely fair. It is the fairest way possible for us to bill our members. We are now billing our members the same way that we are being billed for power. And our members are paying their share of our power bill. When we save money, our members save money. Now, I realize that not everybody understands it, and I realize that not everybody is happy about it, but the other day I was out in the community and I had a gentleman come up to me and he said, "Reed, don't you work at the co-op?" I'm like, "Yes, sir, I work at Horry Electric." He said, "Man, I love this new rate. Please tell me y'all are not going to change it." And I was like, "Really?" I said, why do you love it?" He said, "I have been able to save so much money." So there are those that really, really like it. But then we also realize that there are some that may not like it. And with that in mind, in the March edition of the South Carolina Living magazine, I had asked that if you had a question about the rate, that you put it in writing and send it to our attention. If you had a question for me or the board, that you send it to us. And 4 of you did just that. We received 4 questions. Upon looking at those questions, we realized that 2 of them were questions about their individual account. So our team has reached out to those 2 members and they have addressed those questions with those individuals. That leaves 2 questions that were very, very good questions. And now I'm going to paraphrase, but the first question was basically related to the growth that we've been talking about all night. Is that growth the reason for the restructured rate? And then it went on to ask about the power supply. Is all the growth in the area going to cause a power supply problem? Well, I've addressed the power supply earlier, so I will address the growth in the area. Again, the growth in the area has nothing to do with the restructured rate. We did this restructured rate because it was the fairest way to bill our members. In our world, when we're looking at all the technical stuff, the engineering stuff, the construction, all the different costs that we have to account for, there's a term we use as cost causation. What is causing the actual cost? And again, because we're not for profit, we are member owned, cost causation is very important to us. And with this new rate, each of our members are only paying for the cost that they cause us to incur. It is a direct correlation. If Horry Electric saves money, you save money. Again, remember, we're not for profit. So you are now, with this new restructured rate, you are only paying for those costs that you are causing. You're not paying for a cost that may have been caused by someone else. So I really appreciate that question. It was a good question. I appreciate you giving us the opportunity to address it here tonight. The second question was related to our solar members. Again, very good question. We had a solar member, and what do I mean by a solar member? That's a member that also has solar at their house. So we had a solar member that had asked, why do we not pay them for a peak charge? So what are they meaning when they say this? They are asking us why we do not pay them for the energy that they are putting back on the system during that peak hour, those peak hours, that 6 to 9 in the morning or 3 to 6 in the afternoon. And the reason we're not able to pay them is, remember, we've talked a lot about fairness. What is fair? This rate is fair. Well, solar is not dispatchable. Now, what that means to us in our industry is when it comes to generation, there's base load generation. That is that generation that is there available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Anytime we need it, it's there for us. Solar, unfortunately, is not that way. It may be the nighttime, it may be a rainy day, and it's not available when we need it. So it would not be fair for us to pay for a peak charge for something that was not there when our members needed it. So we are not able to pay that peak charge during those peak windows just for the simple fact that we can't depend on it. It's not there for us. Again, I'd like to thank you for those questions. They were both very, very good questions, and hopefully our membership learned something from those. Another thing I would like to address tonight is some misinformation that's out in our community. We've seen this on different social media platforms, and you may be asking, well, why do you care? Well, we care because what's the most important thing to us, and we've said this different ways tonight, is our members. And our members being able to make the best decision that they can possibly make for themselves and their family. And that misinformation could potentially keep them from doing that. So I would encourage you tonight that if you do not understand anything about this rate, call into our office. We have a team here. We had a pilot project at Horry Electric that most of our employees were on for over a year, or right around a year. They learned a lot about this rate during that pilot project. So they are well versed in being able to explain it to you, to see if there's things that you may want to do to help your family. They were able to do some things. So they are here. They are happy to talk to you. They get excited about talking to members and helping members understand it. We realize it's not simple, and we realize it is a major change. Remember, it's being done for the right reasons. It's fair. If you don't want to reach out to us via telephone, we have a website available to you. That website, our team here has done a phenomenal job in putting together a website that has a tremendous amount of helpful information on it. Go to that website, look at it, study it. If there's a part that you don't understand, again, call us. We will walk you through it. We will do everything in our power to empower you to make the best decision for your family. And I'm confident that if you give our team a chance, they can help you with this rate. Last thing I'd like to do is to thank our Board of Trustees and our employees and you, our members. Our Board of Trustees work tirelessly on your behalf. I promise you, every decision they make it through this lens. Is it a good thing for our members? Remember, they live here, they work here, just like you, just like me. They are a part of our community, and they want what is best for our members. And they make sure that we are always moving in that direction. And I appreciate the fact that they do that. Our employees, I'm biased, but we have the best group of employees that we could possibly have. And they are here to make sure that we take care of you, our members. Doesn't matter if it's the lineman out working a thunderstorm, hurricane, or building a service to one of those 12,000 meters I told you that we knew we were coming. They are always here working for you. They are supported by a tremendous group of people. It takes more than just a lineman. We have accountants, we have engineers, we have member service representatives, billing, energy management, substation department, metering department, IT. It takes the entire village. And you have the best group of employees here, a phone call away if you need us. And they do a phenomenal job. And for that, I would like to say thank you. I will leave you with this. Remember, you the members, y'all are the heart of this co-op. Y'all are the reason that we exist. And I would like to thank y'all. And we appreciate you taking the time to join us tonight and being a part of our 2025 annual meeting. Good night.
Thank you, Reed. One of the responsibilities of membership is to elect a board of trustees to represent you in the operation and governance of the cooperative. That reflects the cooperative principle of democratic member control. At this time, I'd like to invite Horry Electric co-op attorney Kenneth Moss to deliver tonight's official election results.
Good evening. Before I announce the official results for the 3 seats up for election this time, I'd like to take this time to remember and honor Mr. Ashley Anderson. Mr. Anderson served as trustee for District 7 for 47 years. He was first appointed on October 25th of 1977. He also served as the secretary for the Board of Trustees since September of 1985. We are saddened to say that Mr. Anderson passed this year on March 15th. We would like to thank Mr. Anderson and his family for service to the electric cooperative. He will truly be missed by the cooperative and especially by me. For the 2025 annual member meeting, the membership voted on 3 seats, the trustee seats for districts 1, 5, and 7. As a reminder, the membership votes on trustee candidates at large. This means that each member has a vote, an opportunity to vote for each trustee candidate in all districts, regardless of the district they reside in. There was only one candidate nominated for each of seats 1 and 5. They included Elaine Gore, who was the incumbent trustee who was nominated to serve in District 1, and Mr. Ronald Floyd, the incumbent trustee who was nominated to serve in District 5. So both Elaine Gore and Ronald Floyd have been re-elected for a 3-year term to serve in their respective districts. This year, the nominating committee, which is a group of members like yourselves who volunteer to serve, they nominated 2 members to serve as trustee for District 7. The 2 members nominated were Deborah Vereen Givens, who I understand goes by Debbie, and Mr. Clay Ward. Those members were then voted on over the last day and a half by you, the members. The winner of that vote was Ms. Givens with 3,345 votes. Mr. Clay Ward received 3,112 votes. We thank all the members who came to register and vote, and we congratulate Ms. Givens on being a successful candidate, and we welcome her to serve for 3 years as trustee for District 7. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Mr. Moss, and congratulations to those candidates elected to fill those seats. Now that all official business has been covered in tonight's business session, we have no unfinished business, we know of no new business, so with no objection, I will officially adjourn tonight's meeting. Be sure to visit horryelectric.com to view the list of prize winners. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you have a wonderful evening. Thank you. Good night.